Hey up and welcome to Brian's Uploads. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. Today we're diving into a topic that affects us all, the UK housing crisis. From London to Leeds, people are struggling to find affordable, decent places to live. This crisis impacts everyone, from young families trying to get on the property ladder to pensioners struggling to heat their homes. But how did we get here? And more importantly, what can we do about it? In this video, we'll unpack the UK housing crisis, exploring its historical roots, the current state of the market, and potential solutions for the future. So buckle up and let's get started. The UK housing crisis is a complex issue with a long and winding history. It's not something that happened overnight. It's been brewing for decades. After the Second World War, Britain faced a massive housing shortage. The government stepped in with ambitious plans to build affordable homes for everyone. Council housing became a cornerstone of this effort, providing decent and secure housing for millions. However, the landscape began to shift in the 1980s under Margaret Thatcher's government. The Right to Buy scheme, while popular at the time, led to a significant reduction in social housing stock. This policy, coupled with deregulation in the financial sector, fueled a housing boom that saw property prices soar. Fast forward to the 21st century, and the situation has become increasingly dire. The 2008 financial crisis dealt a blow to the housing market, leading to stricter lending criteria and a reluctance from developers to build. This perfect storm of factors has created the crisis we face today.
The end of the Second World War left Britain in ruins, quite literally. Bombing raids had destroyed homes and infrastructure, leaving a desperate need for new housing. The government, led by Labour, embarked on a massive construction programme, with council housing at its heart. These weren't just houses, they were homes built with a social purpose. They were designed to be affordable, decent, and to foster a sense of community. Entire estates sprung up, providing much-needed housing for millions. This era saw the rise of iconic council estates, some celebrated for their design, others later stigmatised. For the first time, many working-class families had access to secure, affordable housing. The dream of owning a home, once out of reach, became a reality for many. Council housing was more than bricks and mortar. It represented hope, progress, and a belief in a fairer society. This period wasn't without its challenges. There were criticisms of design flaws in some estates, and issues with maintenance and quality arose. However, the post-war period undeniably laid the foundation for a significant social housing sector, one that would face considerable change in the decades to come.
The 1980s, under Margaret Thatcher's Conservative government, ushered in a new era for housing in the UK. Thatcher believed in home ownership as a key aspiration, a way to empower individuals and shrink the role of the state. This belief manifested in the Right to Buy scheme launched in 1980. The policy allowed council tenants to purchase their homes at heavily discounted rates. It was incredibly popular, with millions taking advantage of the opportunity to own their homes. For many, it was a chance to get on the property ladder, build wealth, and leave a legacy for their children. However, the long-term consequences of Right to Buy were significant. The sale of council homes was not matched by new construction, leading to a dramatic decline in social housing stock. This created a shortage of affordable housing options, particularly in urban areas. The Thatcher years marked a turning point in the UK housing market. The emphasis shifted from social housing to home ownership, setting the stage for the housing boom and subsequent bust of the coming decades. This period sowed the seeds of the affordability crisis we face today. Section 3. The housing boom and bust, deregulation, and the financial crisis, from the 1990s to 2008. The 1990s and early 2000s witnessed a housing boom in the UK. Deregulation of the financial sector led to easier access to credit, fueling demand for property. House prices skyrocketed, creating a sense of urgency for people to get on the property ladder before they were priced out. This period saw the rise of buy-to-let mortgages, further inflating demand. Investors, eager to capitalize on rising prices, snapped up properties, often leaving them empty or renting them out at increasingly high rates. The dream of homeownership, once a cornerstone of social mobility, began to feel increasingly out of reach for many, particularly young people and those on lower incomes. The boom years came to a dramatic halt with the 2008 financial crisis. The collapse of the housing bubble in the US had a ripple effect across the globe, hitting the UK particularly hard. Banks tightened lending criteria, making it difficult for first-time buyers to secure mortgages. The financial crisis exposed the fragility of a housing market reliant on ever-increasing prices. It left a legacy of negative equity, repossessions, and a reluctance from developers to build new homes, exacerbating the existing housing shortage. Section 4. The Legacy of the Past. Setting the stage for today's crisis. The historical context paints a clear picture of how the UK arrived at its current housing crisis. Decisions made decades ago, from the right to buy scheme to the deregulation of the financial sector, have had a lasting impact. The decline in social housing, coupled with a boom and bust cycle driven by speculation and easy credit, has created a perfect storm. We're now left grappling with a severe shortage of affordable homes, sky-high prices, and a generation struggling to find a place to live. Understanding the historical context is crucial to tackling the current crisis. It highlights the long-term consequences of policy decisions and the need for a more sustainable and equitable approach to housing in the UK.
Section 1. A market under strain. High demand, low supply. The UK housing market is currently facing a perfect storm: high demand and low supply. Our population is growing, people are living longer, and more people are moving to urban areas for work and opportunities. This increased demand, however, is not being met with an adequate supply of new homes. Years of underbuilding, coupled with a reluctance from developers to build affordable homes, have created a chronic shortage. Planning restrictions, often blamed for slowing down development, play a role, but the issue is more complex than simply freeing up land. The result is a seller's market, where competition for homes is fierce, driving up prices and making it increasingly difficult for people to get on the property ladder. This shortage isn't just confined to certain types of housing. Whether it's social housing, private rentals, or properties for sale, the demand far outstrips supply. This puts immense pressure on the market, creating a ripple effect that impacts everyone, from first-time buyers to renters and those in desperate need of social housing.
At the heart of the UK housing crisis lies a stark reality. For many, housing is simply no longer affordable. Wages have stagnated for over a decade, while house prices and rents have continued to rise at an alarming rate. This disparity between income and housing costs has pushed homeownership out of reach for many, particularly young people and those on lower incomes. The affordability crisis isn't just about buying a home, it's also affecting renters. With high demand and limited supply, landlords can charge premium rents, often eating up a significant portion of tenants' incomes. This leaves many struggling to make ends meet, forced to choose between paying rent and putting food on the table. The consequences of this crisis are far-reaching. It's forcing people to delay life milestones like starting a family, impacting mental health and well-being, and increasing levels of poverty and homelessness. The dream of a secure and affordable home is slipping further away for many, creating a generation burdened by housing insecurity.
While the UK housing crisis affects everyone, its impact is not felt equally across the country. Regional disparities are stark, with London and the South East experiencing the most acute affordability problems. The capital's desirability, coupled with a chronic shortage of housing, has created a hyperinflated market where even modest properties command exorbitant prices. However, the crisis extends far beyond London. Major cities across the UK, from Bristol to Manchester and Edinburgh, are grappling with similar challenges, albeit on a slightly smaller scale. The cost of living, particularly housing costs, is rising faster than wages in many areas, putting pressure on local economies and communities. While London and the South East dominate headlines, it's crucial to remember that the housing crisis manifests differently across the UK. Rural areas face their own unique challenges, including a lack of affordable housing options, limited job opportunities, and poor transport links. Addressing the housing crisis requires a nuanced understanding of these regional disparities and tailored solutions that cater to local needs.
The UK housing crisis is more than just statistics and graphs. It's about real people's lives. It's about the young couple forced to delay starting a family because they can't afford a home big enough. It's about the single parent working 2 jobs to keep a roof over their children's heads. And it's about the elderly couple struggling to heat their poorly insulated home because their pension doesn't stretch far enough. This crisis is pushing people to the brink, forcing them to make impossible choices. The stress and anxiety of housing insecurity takes a toll on mental health and well-being. It can lead to relationship breakdowns, social isolation, and a sense of hopelessness. For some, it can even result in homelessness, a stark reminder of the human cost of this crisis. The impact of the housing crisis is far-reaching, affecting not just individuals and families, but also communities and society as a whole. It exacerbates inequality, undermines social mobility, and erodes the fabric of our society. Addressing this crisis requires more than just bricks and mortar. It demands empathy, compassion, and a commitment to creating a fairer and more just society for all.
Right, so we know there's a massive shortage of homes in the UK. The most obvious solution? We need to build more houses. But not just any houses. We need the right type of housing in the right places. That means building affordable homes for those who need them most. Not just luxury flats that sit empty. We need to be smarter about how we build too. Modern methods of construction like modular building can deliver high-quality homes more quickly and efficiently. And we need to make better use of brownfield sites, those derelict or underused areas in our towns and cities, rather than gobbling up valuable green space. Of course, building more houses isn't a quick fix. It takes time, investment, and political will. But it's an essential step towards tackling the housing crisis and ensuring everyone has a decent place to live.
Remember those council houses we talked about earlier? The ones built with a social purpose? Well, we need to bring back that ethos. Investing in social and affordable housing is crucial to tackling the affordability crisis and creating a fairer society. This means building genuinely affordable homes for rent and shared ownership, not just properties that are slightly cheaper than the market rate. It means providing secure tenancies that give people peace of mind and the ability to put down roots. And it means ensuring that social housing is high quality, desirable, and integrated into the wider community. Investing in social housing is not just about bricks and mortar, it's about investing in people's lives. It's about creating communities where everyone has the opportunity to thrive, regardless of their income.
The housing market is complex, and right now, it's not working for everyone. We need to rethink how it operates and introduce financial reforms that create a fairer system. One idea is to tackle the issue of buy-to-let landlords, who often drive up prices and can be less invested in the long-term well-being of their tenants. We could consider measures to discourage excessive buy-to-let activity, such as higher taxes or stricter lending criteria for landlords. At the same time, we need to make it easier for first-time buyers to get on the property ladder. This could involve innovative schemes like rent-to-own models or government-backed loans with more accessible deposit requirements. By addressing the imbalances in the market and promoting responsible lending and investment, we can create a more stable and equitable housing system that works for everyone.
Section 4. Power to the People Community-Led Housing Initiatives. Sometimes, the best solutions come from the ground up. Community-led housing is about empowering local people to take control of housing in their area. This could involve community land trusts, co-housing projects, or self-build schemes. The beauty of community-led housing is that it puts people at the heart of the process. It allows communities to design and deliver homes that meet their specific needs and aspirations. It fosters a sense of ownership and pride and can help to create truly sustainable and vibrant communities. Supporting community-led housing requires a shift in thinking from both the government and local authorities. It means providing funding, resources, and the flexibility for communities to develop their own solutions.
Section 1. The complexity of the crisis, a shared challenge. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the post-war dream of a home for all to the harsh realities of today's housing market. It's clear that the UK housing crisis is a complex issue, with no easy answers. It's a tangled web of historical decisions, economic factors, and social challenges. There's no single solution that will magically solve this problem. It's going to require a multifaceted approach, one that addresses both the symptoms and the root causes of the crisis. And it's going to require collaboration between the government, local authorities, developers, communities, and individuals. We need to move beyond blame and ideology and work together to find solutions that are fair, sustainable, and genuinely benefit everyone. The housing crisis affects us all, directly or indirectly. It's time to recognize it for what it is, a shared challenge that demands a collective response. Section 2, a call to action, building a better future. This might seem like a bleak picture, but I'm not here to spread doom and gloom. The UK housing crisis is a serious problem, but it's not insurmountable. We have the resources, the knowledge, and the ingenuity to tackle this challenge and create a better future for everyone. But it's going to require action. We need to demand better from our elected officials, push for policies that prioritize affordable housing, and hold developers accountable for building homes that meet the needs of communities. We can all play a part, whether it's supporting local housing campaigns, contacting our MPs, or simply raising awareness of the issue among our friends and family. Change won't happen overnight, but by working together and refusing to accept the status quo, we can create a future where everyone has a place to call home. Section 3, a place to call home, a shared vision for the future. Imagine a future where everyone in the UK has a safe, secure, and affordable place to live. A future where young people aren't priced out of their communities, where families can put down roots, and where older generations can live with dignity and independence. This isn't just a pipe dream. It's a vision we can make a reality. By embracing bold solutions, investing in social housing, reforming the market, and empowering communities, we can create a housing system that works for everyone. The UK housing crisis is a complex challenge, but it's not insurmountable. With collective action, political will, and a shared vision for a fairer future, we can ensure that everyone has a place to call home. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Brian's uploads for more videos on important social issues.